In this video, we're going to learn about using OneNote, the class notebooks. The way that the class notebooks work is that they create for the student and for the teacher a collaborative environment for, for learning. Basically, it creates OneNote notebooks for both the teacher and for the students, along with sections that can be used right in your classroom. So the first thing that we do is we go into our sign-in for Microsoft. This will take us to the Office 365 sign-in area. We log in like we normally do. Now, this is going to bring us right into the Microsoft login area. And once we're in there, what we're going to do is we're actually going to select something called Waffle Apps. The Waffle Apps are this area of, it looks like blocks of programs. I'll show you in a second here. Right up here in the corner. Click on here. This brings up a list of different applications that we have access to. And what we're looking for is the Class Notebook app, not the OneNote Online, but the Class Notebook app. Click on this. Now, what you'll notice on this screen is that there are 4 different areas we can go into. We can create a class notebook, add or remove students, add or remove teachers. Both of these are for existing class notebooks. And then get notebook links, which again is for an existing class notebook. Now, we don't have any class notebooks at this point, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a new class notebook. I'm just going to click on here. Now what we're going to do is enter a name for our class. Now, the naming conventions that we are using are basically the name of the class. So in this case, it's Ed 365. This would be normally followed by the actual group of people that you're doing. That would be like Preparatory 1 or Secondary 1, Secondary 2. This is actually going to be a general group of people, the teachers. Okay? Training. Followed by the year. Now, normally then you would put in 2015. We're not going to bother doing that for this because this particular class notebook is going to be used through a number of different years. So, but normally you would put in a year after that. So I'm going to click on Next. This will then come up and will basically tell me that we're going to create this for us. And then it's showing me what it's going to have inside of it. There's going to be a collaboration area, a content library, and then student notebooks. Okay, I'm going to click on Next. Now, for the most part, we're going to be using our different names that we have here. Now, we're actually going to use here a teacher. So I'm going to type in the name of the teacher, the main teacher, which is going to be the admin user. Okay, and I'm also going to put in another teacher. If I wanted to, I could put in another teacher. And again, all I'm doing is I'm typing in the person's name. And you can see it coming up here. Now, if I don't want to use a particular teacher, or if I put one in by mistake, what I can do to get rid of it is simply click on the X. So I'm going to leave this with the admin user at this point. Click on Next. Now, if you put in the name of the person who is already in the list, or the person who's creating the notebook, OneNote defaults to the teacher being the person who's actually creating this class notebook. And that's why it's coming up and telling me that this name is already in the list. So basically, if you are the teacher of this class and you want to assign yourself as the teacher, you don't have to put anything in here. I'm going to click on Next. And now it's asking for student names. Now in this case, I actually have a group that has all of the student names in there. And this is preferable that for the different classes that you have groups set up for them. We're going to be using the Maestros group for this. So what I start doing is to simply start typing in the name of the group. It will then show up if it exists. Click on it. And then what I can do is click on Next. Now I could add other groups or I could add other users to this, but this will suffice. I'm going to click on Next. It's going to get the student names from my group for me. And then what it's going to do is it's going to ask me what I want inside of each student's private space. Now what it's talking about here is that it's going to create in OneNote, the notebook, areas for my students. Each student will actually have these 4 areas: handouts, class notes, homework, and quizzes. Now I could add more if I wanted to, but I don't, so I'm going to click on Next. Then what happens is it will give me a view of what it's going to look like. Okay, and so you can see here that this is the teacher notebook. It's going to have these 3 users in it, as well as the content library and the collaboration space. I can then look at what my student notebooks look like, and you can see that each student will have these 4 areas here. Okay, if I'm happy with that, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Create, and then what it will do is it will go ahead and will set up this OneNote class notebook. Now, what it's actually doing is, first of all, it's creating the OneNote notebook area in an area of your OneDrive. And then what it's doing is sharing this OneNote notebook with the other students that we've specified, that were a member of the Maestros group. Okay, now what it does is it gives me a link. And this is the link that I'm going to publish to all my users. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in here, and then I'm going to go copy. Okay, and then, but I'm basically done. At this point, I can go back to home. Now, if I wanted to add other teachers, then what I would do is I'd click on Add or Remove Teachers. This will load up all the teacher notebooks that I've set up, or the class notebooks. I then would select one, and then I could add some teachers to here. For example, if I wanted to make one of my teachers, I would select Juan, click Next, and update. Okay, it again will give me the link. Now, maybe I want to remove a teacher. I would do the same thing. Except here, all I'm going to do is click on Remove. Okay, Next, update. It's that simple. And I can do the same thing for adding or removing students. As I add new students to the class notebook, it will create those sections for this new student. Now, the notebook link that I just copied into my clipboard, I can choose to send to people in various ways. Now, normally what I would do is I would load up Outlook and then send out a message saying that these people have access to this particular notebook. The other thing that I can do is I can simply give it to them in the classroom. Normally we use Outlook for this though. Now in the next video we're going to talk about what it looks like for the student.